In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the power of the daily chart when trading the Forex market. Stay tuned. Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me here. We are going to be talking about the daily chart, but before I do, make sure to give this video a thumbs up down below. It does help to share this video with more traders and let our team know that you are enjoying the content. So what we're going to be talking about is the daily chart. You can see I've actually got a daily chart pulled up here by looking at the top left of the chart. This is tradingview.com if you're not familiar with it. Super cool tool to use for looking at the markets and doing your charting. So today we're going to be talking about the daily chart and why it has such a powerful representation of what current price is doing. Now, a lot of people look at a lot of different time frames, and the daily chart is not the only time frame that I look at, but it certainly is my favorite chart to look at, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Basically, when you look at a chart, what are we actually looking at? We're looking at price movements over a period of time, right? A chart basically has two coordinates. You've got the X and the Y, right? And we all know what these two different things are. You've got the Y coordinate, which is basically the price itself moving up and down, right? And then you've got the X coordinate, which is our time frame, right? This is how long are we looking, because a chart could show us 1 day, or it could show us 30 minutes, or it could show us a week long or a month long of data, and it just depends which time frame you're looking at. So why is the daily chart significant? Basically, when we're looking at a chart on a lower time frame, if we look at something like the 1 hour chart or the 30-minute chart, we're getting a small snapshot of the overall movement for a particular day. Now, during any single trading day on the currency market, we see millions, billions, and trillions of dollars moving around. And so as a trader, it's kind of important to take in the size of what kind of trading volume is being done. So when we look at something like the 30-minute chart, out of an entire day, this is actually going to be less amount of money being moved around. And so when we look at those bigger time frames, we're actually seeing what more money is doing. If that doesn't sound like more significant, I'll try and break it down a little bit more. Basically, when we're looking at a low time frame, think about all of this as money movements, okay? When a price starts moving down, this is money movements, and so this is some amount of money. Well, if we take a look at the entire day, then this is what? More money. If this is more money, this entire movement would seem like it's more significant. That's more investors, more traders placing bets, placing basically market decisions about where they think the price will go. So if you have 30 minutes where the market is trading down, let's say we have a 30-minute chart where one candle is printing down, and then we have a 1-day chart overall on that same day, the market traded up strongly. Okay, so if we have a 30-minute chart or a 30-minute candle inside of a daily chart, 1-day candle, right, basically has many 30-day movements within it. So if this is 1 day, then there's plenty of little 30-minute movements in here. But looking at the overall picture of the entire day is big because it's more money. So we're seeing more money move on a daily chart than we are seeing on a 30-minute candle, right? So a 1-day candle is going to be much more significant than a 30-minute candle. Now we can get some information, don't get me wrong. We can get plenty of information from the lower time frames on potentially what's happening intraday. But from a bigger term perspective, when we're looking at the daily chart and we're looking day to day over the course of something like 30 days, this can tell us some bigger trends. This can tell us some bigger potential movements that are happening in the market. So let's go back to our daily chart and we'll take a look at an example of this. You can see here that on the daily chart, we've been in a very strong uptrend. In fact, if you've been watching our live streams, we've basically been long primarily on the XAU USD currency pair or gold, right? We've been predominantly long based on this uptrending formation that we have seen time and time again. Now, again, if you were looking at the shorter time frames, there might have been some short trades that you could have actually traded, right? Some sells in this particular market by trading some of the lower time frames, don't get me wrong. But the bigger picture, catching some of the biggest market moves happens when you trade those bigger time frames. So for example, think about it this way. If you caught the breakout here on the daily chart, you're not talking about catching 50 pips in a day or maybe 100 pips in a few days. You're talking about catching potentially thousands and thousands of pips over the course of days, weeks, maybe if you're a longer term trader looking at months. But even using the daily chart on a short term basis from anywhere from a day, 2 days, 5 days is very important and very powerful to me because you can see the picture that the big money is doing. For example, you can see here on the daily chart that price basically broke out of what was a powerful resistance point. When price closed above right here, there was a strong indication that price was ready to trade higher. Okay, and so by looking at the daily chart, we can see what the daily trends are, which again are more money being moved around on the daily chart, right? Because again, it's a longer period of time. You've got more traders in and out of the market, more investors stepping in, more businesses moving money through the currency exchange. We can see the general direction of the longer term charts. Okay, and that can give us some bias to go take what we see on the daily chart, bring it down to something like the 1 hour chart or the 4 hour chart, and potentially make shorter term decisions based on what we see happening in the daily chart. So using multiple time frame analysis can be a really powerful way to basically use what we see happening on the daily to make different decisions based on other time frames. So in this case, again, we close above this level. We've clearly broken out of this level, and you can see it actually led to some nice bullish continuation here on the gold market that actually ran up thousands and thousands of pips just from that key breakout of that downward market. So using the daily chart, again, is a way to get a bigger picture about what market participants, investors, and traders are looking to do with the money and the general flow of a market. So let me think of one more, or let me give you one more thing that I think is actually really powerful about using the daily chart if you're a short-term trader. So even if you're an intraday trader, you're looking at the 1 hour chart, the 15-minute chart, if you get a general directional bias using the daily chart, it could actually help potentially with your lower time frame trading. So for example, let's say that you're looking for short-term bullish moves here on gold. So we are trading above the 200-day moving average. We see a lot of bullishness overall on this market. And let's say that if price starts to roll back down, we start to hit a level where you think, hey, we have a pretty good chance of holding support. Let's say that you're looking at the 1 hour chart and you get something like a bullish pin bar here on the move. Well, you know that the daily chart is mostly bullish. We are in an uptrend market. So maybe you increase your odds of success by looking for positive bullish moves in the lower time frames, right? Combining that multiple time frame analysis can be huge, and the daily chart is one of my favorite tools for doing that. Again, daily chart is my favorite chart. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, as you guys know, and we will see you guys back next time.